Today we are going to be trying a limited release Canadian whiskey from the Highwood Distillery in High River, Alberta. But before we get into the whiskey, I just want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for joining me today. So grab a glass, pull up a chair, and let's talk about a whiskey. Today's whiskey is brought to you, as I said, by Highwood Distillers. They are located in High River, Alberta. Now, this is a distillery that does other things. They make gin, vodkas, rums, liqueurs. But today, and for the purposes of the channel, we will be focusing on their whiskey. This particular whiskey is their Centennial Blend Rare Cask Series, where they took 8 of their charred new American oak barrels and they sent them off to the Wild Rose Brewery, also located in Alberta, where the brewery took their Belgium Blonde Beer and aged it for 6 months in these charred new American oak barrels. And then they emptied the beer, sent the barrels back to the Highwood Distillery, where they took 4 of those barrels and put a 100% rye whiskey, and then took the other 4 barrels and put a 100% wheat whiskey, and then aged them for 2 years. This is a 10-year-old whiskey that was aged in the beer barrels for 2 years, but it is the 100% wheat whiskey. I haven't yet to try a 100% wheat whiskey. I have tried a wheated bourbon, which is bourbon that has wheat in the mash bill. We'll go over what mash bill means in another video. We can talk about that later, because that's the purpose of this channel, is to talk about anything and everything whiskey. Like and subscribe if you want to see those future videos. But for now, we are just going to be smelling it, mouthing it. Yes, I took the mouth it from somewhere else. We'll talk about that later too. And we're just going to do a simple sensory analysis of the whiskey. So this should be interesting. Let's get into it. Oh, definitely doesn't hit its ABV. This is a 48% ABV, alcohol by volume whiskey. It definitely doesn't nose like one. Softer on the nose. It has toasted vanilla, kind of a burnt caramel, touch of apple. It's not quite a wheat bread, more cereally, more like a Weetabix. Like a toasted caramel Weetabix. Very, 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 very small touch of baking spice. Very small touch, not like rye, where it's a lot more spicy. It's soft, it's sweet. Has that wheat cereal, Weetabix. But there's a touch of caramel apple. It's like a caramel apple taste, like caramel apple like you would find at the fair. And you taste funnel cake and elephant ears off in the distance. You know, faint little bit of pastry note. It's soft, it's gentle, it's approachable. Has kind of short finish, short medium finish. It also doesn't burn like a 48%. A very, very well balanced whiskey. Nice blend. What's odd, it's like it kind of has a little slight chocolatey note to it, like a rye would. It could be because of the ale. I'm not sure. I'm not overly familiar with Belgian Blonde beers. That's pretty good. Now we'll add some water. The purposes of adding water to your whiskey, some people think, oh no, don't put water in whiskey, you're just going to dilute it. That's kind of what they do already to proof it down. Most whiskey, when it comes off as still, is usually between, like, I think 58 and 65% when it comes off the still. And to get it down to bottling strength, like if you have a 40% ABV alcohol, it's 60% water. It's already watered down. So putting additional water into it isn't going to hurt it any. It's not going to ruin the whiskey because the whiskey already has water in it. But this being a 48%, there's a bit more room to proof it down if you need to, or because the water helps to open it up. It takes all of the non-water soluble chemical compounds that are in the whiskey. We'll get into those later. The chemical compounds, we'll get into that in another video, but it helps to open it up. It takes the molecules which are typically trapped in oils, the oils that are inside the whiskey, and it opens them up, and it opens up those oily pockets that the flavor compounds are trapped in. It releases them, brings them to the surface of the whiskey. A lot more gentle, kind of like toasted raw sugar sprinkled on Weetabix. Brings out the sweetness, brings up the apple. Calms down any spice, like any spice, any baking spice note that you might have found in the nose before is pretty much gone. It's not a fresh wheat bread smell, but it definitely has a sweet bread, more of a sweet bread. Cereal note, the wheat cereal note accentuated with the water. And the sweetness. Lighter fruits, pears, apples. Orchard, like an orchard fruit. Overall, good whiskey. I would definitely get it again if I can get my hands on some before it sells out. It is a limited release, and it is. I believe you can get it at Wine and Beyond and select liquor depot locations if you have those around you. On their website, I went through their website a little bit earlier, and I couldn't see it on the website, so they don't currently still have it because it's a limited release. If you can get your hands on some, I do highly recommend it. It is soft and approachable. It's not incredibly complex. There aren't many Canadian whiskeys that are overly complex. Some new craft distilleries and small, like, micro distilleries, they're doing some more innovative things, like with cask finishing and stuff like that. But for the most part, your Canadian whiskeys aren't overly complex. They're not like a Scotch whiskey or even this Indian single malt is fairly complex. They don't typically have those complexities because most Canadian whiskeys are blends. We go over that in a different video. Canadian whiskeys, we'll go over Irish, Scotch, French, maybe go over some Welsh, all over the world, because if you can grow grain, you can make whiskey. Pretty much that simple. But we will go over that in future episodes. For now, I just want to thank you for joining me. Cheers, and drink responsibly.